runner-up or the runner-up in the Western Conference, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and specifically Anthony Edwards. Now, before we get started, I'm an Ant-Man. I am a fan. I am 100% Anthony Edwards co-defendant. He can do no wrong in my eyes. You know, I don't care about his personal life. Let's just be honest there. The 6 babies by 6 different that's your business.
That's a good time. That's a good time on a Thursday.
I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that's your business. But when I think of a player who in 5 seasons has been to 2 conference finals, who has led a team, I don't think people understand what the Minnesota Timberwolves were before he got there. Like, I think they fully grasped what they were. 30 years before they made 1 conference final. 30 years. He's taking them to 2 and 5. Say, all right. But I'm old enough to remember VCRs and I'm making a point though. I'm old enough to remember VCRs, the VCR, and when it took the Minnesota Timberwolves 7 years before they could even get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, Garnett, man, for all the talent, he could not get them over those humps.
And I'm gonna throw it to you. I just gotta say this, and again, I'm making a note. I'm not hiding this. I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. I believe he is one of the best. I believe a kid who is a scorer, who goes forward 100 miles per hour straight line runner. Watch his scoring average go up every year he's been in the league. Believe a kid that plays in a conference with Luka, with Steph, with Popovich, who just retired, but he was there. Ja Morant, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron and Joker, and has managed to make it to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals with Julius Randle on his team.
Julius just got there this year.
And this was the year they went. This was the second year.
Right,
they
but
were
last
still
year
there.
He got there with the Catman.
Yeah, but Karl-Anthony Towns was there in New York. So you can't knock Karl-Anthony Towns. But Julius Randle has been on every NBA team. He's been on every NBA team at some point in his career. Like, I'm being facetious, but you get the point I'm trying to make. He's been everywhere. So to automatically say, like, to just discount Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, like, come on, man. What are we talking about? Like, he's underachieved? He's not up to be the face of the league. To me, he is the face of the league. He's a new generation player's favorite player. When they say he's your rapper's favorite rapper, like Jadakiss, you know what? He's the Jadakiss of the NBA. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
The problem is mainstream don't like him. They don't want him because of his image off the court. They don't like who he is.
They don't want him. What makes you think they don't want him?
Because you got to look at what the NBA is marketing to. Who's their target market audience? Let's have an honest conversation.
I know what their target market audience is.
It ain't the dude from down in the hood. That's not their target market audience.
But what makes you think they don't want him? He's got endorsement deals. He's got a lot of endorsements and commercials.
It's not about that. The man got 6 kids with 6 women in like 6 months.
And I don't know if it's 6 kids. I just straight up. You know what? I'm gonna stop because I want to stay. I want to stay at that stop sign. I want to stay at that stop sign. So I'm gonna stop there. I don't think it's mainstream that don't want it. I think the players don't want it, and not the current players. I think the same backlash they had. Like I said before, I'm old enough to remember VCRs. Do you remember how much they hated Mike? Do you remember how much Mike's first 7 years in the league? Everyone hated. He didn't make anyone better. Magic Johnson's got that smile. Mainstream loves it. This guy's got his tongue out. And then I'm gonna fast forward. And I know you remember this. You remember how much they hated Kobe. You remember how much even when the rape charges happened, and we're not gonna get a rape, but it felt like there was a segment of the population two-stepping when he was struggling. When he had the 4 air balls in Utah. I feel like it's the same thing. You
know what? I think a lot of people, and I'm going to say this because I want to segue into something else that just happened this week that I saw. Hey, I'm going to segue from this into something else that I saw. So I think a lot of times these guys get to a certain level, they get their money, they get the fact they get to play a kid's game that they love, and they forget what greatness looks like because they're comfortable, because they're happy. They only want to go but so far. And here's what I mean by that. When you look at the guys who didn't like what, Jordan did when he came in the league, about how he was pushing the league forward, he was the reason contracts jumped the way that they did and got to the level that they got to because he was the first $30 million a year player. So he was the one that
one-year contract.
A one-year contract.
Throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, on a one-year contract.
And this was back in the 90s when guys thought 30 million was like getting paid 8 billion. Like, so, that was him starting that. And I say that because I just heard recently, totally off topic, but tied in a little bit. Brittany Griner made comments the other day about the fact that she doesn't like the fact that Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks and that now people are pumping in the arena to come see her play and that they're loud at the games in the arenas. And I'm going to take a small quote from Stephen A. Ma'am, you were in a Russian prison a few years ago. You need to be grateful that you're even free. Okay, they let out the merchant of death to bring you home, and you complaining about people being behind you because you can't bring your laptop to work and sit there in peace and quiet. There is a Brittany Griner quote out there where she said, "I preferred it better before. I don't like all these people at the games. Why are they coming here and barking at us like we're for entertainment?" You are there for entertainment, which comes back to the point of what I'm making. People who don't like Ant-Man don't realize that he is entertainment box office value. When he comes to play, he has the same level of notoriety and people want to see him play that LeBron had when he was early on in Cleveland, that Kobe had when he was early on with the Lakers. People want to see the next up-and-coming superstar athlete play. The same thing Allen Iverson had, no matter what city he went to, no matter how good or bad the Sixers were, they wanted to see Allen Iverson come in and drop 40. And that's what you got, regardless as to how good or bad the team is. I don't think that the face of the NBA is hinged on that, because if you look at who the faces of the NBA are, it was Michael Jordan in a non-social media era. It was Tim Duncan. It was Shaq. And then it was LeBron. And it was LeBron for a long time.
I don't think it ever was Duncan.
Tim Duncan won 5 NBA titles. He might have not been the face of the league, but he was definitely in that conversation because of the fact he was the staple of what the NBA would have loved to have had as the face, but he was boring. He didn't have any personality outside the court. And the thing is, people who knew him in circles said he wasn't boring, said he wasn't boring at all. But you'd never know that because he didn't want to be in front of the TV. He just wanted to play ball, get his money, and go home.
I feel like it was the players. I feel like it's the players. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just kind of slipped out.
But it comes to my point about Ant-Man. I don't think the guys have a problem with him. I'm telling you, the folks who make the decisions about who the face of the league is going to be are the guys who think, how can we market this guy to make him the most profitable player in the league? And they wanted to be an American player so bad, but there's not one outside of Ant-Man who has that draw. It was Steph Curry, but Steph Curry unfortunately played in a broad era, and now he's on the back end of his career. It can't be Steph Curry anymore. Steph Curry played now. If he was coming into his prime now, it wouldn't even be a question who the face of the league would be, no matter how good or bad Golden State was. But he's 35. He's not going to be that guy in another 2 years. So it's not him. Bron's on his way out the door. Giannis doesn't want it. Embiid stays hurt. Joker doesn't have a desire to do it. I mean, SGA is just coming into his own, but he's a Canadian. Like, they don't have an American-born player who's going to be the best player in the league, who could be the face of the NBA. And it should be Ant-Man. But I'm telling you, as much as you might not want to agree, that off the court stuff with the baby mamas and all that, and it's not even about him having the baby mamas, it's about the fact that it's public information, because they don't want the calls to the corporate office and the league office. This is the guy you're promoting, and look what example he's setting the kids, and he's ducking his responsibilities as a dad, which has nothing to do with his ability to play basketball. Clearly, I mean, he plays just fine with it, so he's finding time to still be good at what he does, but that's the excuses that they get, and they don't want it. And it sucks because he legitimately has the drive, the killer instinct, the king slayer, as they call it. He don't care who in front of him. He going right at you, and they'll never give him a chance to be the guy that he could be because of his image off the court.
2 things. Number 1, Luka has the key to Anthony Edwards being the face of it, because I believe Luka's going to come back next year and be the player that we've all seen.
That boy looked like he lost 30 pounds so far. Have you seen him?
Then you have an Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic rival.
And there's the Jordan Bird. That's the Magic Bird. That's the lineup rivalry. And
they play in the same conference.
Exactly. You're going to see them fighting all year long for that 1-2 seed, because the Lakers were a 3 seed before injuries. So let's not act like they in Minnesota won't get there. And
we're not going to talk about that.
No. But Minnesota going to make a move. Minnesota going to make a move.
We're going to talk about that because I sent you a list earlier. I ruined your day with my list, but I sent you a list earlier of, I think it was last night when I got out of my therapy session, about my dream moves in the NBA, and I would love to see that. The second thing that was going to play a role in that, man, he's going to have to at some point, I don't know what to call it. He's going to have that person in the stands, whether it be his mama, his sister, his girlfriend, somebody that can humanize him outside of the barbershop. That's all he needs.
That's one.
Ron has got Savannah and his kids. That was it. Once his mama was in the stands and he told her to sit down, it was Savannah and the kids from that point on. Steph Curry had his beautiful wife in the stands, and his
mom and his daddy.
Yeah, and his lovely mother. That's what he needs.
His mama bad. His mama bad.
See, I knew that's where you're gonna go. So I'm gonna just move fast about it. The point is, that's all it needs. A healthy Luka to ride, because he's already beat Joker. They own the Nuggets. They own him. At this point, it's Luka. At this point, he's beat Luka this year. Luka beat him the year before, I believe. So, that's the rivalry.
They do.
All right, brother. We're going to take a break here. We're going to stop here. Take a quick break. We'll come right back with you. We're going to jump to my off-season dream trades. And we got to talk about, unfortunately, Tyrese out. That's it for this episode of Parallel Sports Talk. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, anything your podcast platform allows you to do. These Sports Talk Terry on all social media platforms. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. We appreciate your time and year. Be easy.